taxi and I pay the taxi driver in cash. Is the taxi driver also corrupt because he took my money? So I think there is some requirement for clarity in our mind as to what is corruption. Corruption is the misuse of public office for private gain. Private gain for yourself, private gain for somebody else, or private gain for your relatives. Something. Somewhere there should be a private gain by misusing your public office. And when you misuse your public office, you are making a decision which is below the merit. Merit is being sacrificed. On merit, you will get it without corruption. It is only because the person who is not meritorious, he wants it. And he therefore wants the minister or the public official to bypass the decision-making process and give it to him in return for money. And that money is black. It has to be paid in cash, or it has to be deposited in a bank account abroad, or you pay him in cash and then through the hawala, it is deposited abroad. Today we are supposed to have $500 billion at least. Some people estimate it as $2 trillion. $500 billion at least in foreign banks, and bulk of it in Switzerland. Switzerland has officially declared that the biggest holders of secret bank accounts, or what is called as numbered bank accounts, are Indians. And I had a student at Harvard who became the chairman of one of the banks. I won't name the bank and identify him. But he told me that if Indians didn't open accounts in Switzerland, then we will become bankrupt. So I said, how? He said, because these Indians are so insecure that they don't even mention the beneficiary very often. And so when they die, that account becomes ours. And we have got billions of dollars of unclaimed accounts. And we have a rule that if for 7 years you don't claim an account, then it becomes ours. So India is supposed to be a poor country. And you find that all this money is being deposited abroad. So that is what Ramdev and Anna Hazare to some extent have been demanding, that money should come back. And there is a way to bring it back. And that is, the government should issue a law through an ordinance, because then the ordinance is immediate, saying that all bank accounts of Indian citizens which are in foreign banks abroad in numbered accounts, they are henceforth nationalized. Under the new UN Security Council resolution and laws passed by several countries including Switzerland, that is permitted. Switzerland has made one more additional law, that if there is a politically empowered person's account, then you don't even have to take out this. You just have to mention that this person is a publicly empowered person, PEP as it's called, and therefore please freeze his account till we decide. Even when you take out the ordinance, you can put in a rider that if anybody innocently has legitimately, legally opened an account and legally deposited money, then we will return that account, provided he proves that all the deposits in that account are legally valid. So you can get it back. The government is refusing. The government is so afraid that even Liechtenstein, what happened is the Germans found that many Germans were stashing away money in Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein is a small, I don't know how many of you have been to Liechtenstein. Most Indians go there only to open bank accounts, so don't identify yourself. So, Liechtenstein is a small country in Europe, and it has what is called as a bank. It's called a tax haven. No taxes, deposit money in numbered accounts, and so the Germans said we can't tolerate this. So what they did, the German intelligence service, they went and bribed a very senior official of the bank and said, we'll give you $15 million provided you give us a CD of all the accounts which are in numbered accounts by name, nationality, details.
Sorry, what is numbered account?
Numbered account is that your name doesn't come in the picture. Name comes in the document which the bank keeps. But when you operate it, you don't give your name. You just give the number and the password. That's called a numbered account. So the Germans bribed a senior official and got the CD. Then they downloaded the CD and they found that many countries' nationals had accounts there. So they separated them by country and wrote to all the countries that we have got now the accounts of your nationals. If you want a copy of the list of persons and their bank details, we will supply to you. India was the only country which did not reply to this letter to say yes, please send us. But there was a furor in the country. I also wrote a letter to the Prime Minister threatening him, which is published in my new book called Corruption and Corporate Governance in India. And I threatened him saying that, I'll have to go to court. Now already the Prime Minister had been humiliated and brutalized by my case on 2G, where he was asked to file an affidavit, which in the history of the world, never a Prime Minister has been asked to file an affidavit. That means, the Prime Minister's not prima facie being believed by the court when he says that he replied to all my letters. He had not replied to all my letters. In fact, he replied to none of my letters on Raja. But anyway, the Prime Minister then wrote a letter and the names were sent. 16 names were sent. Then we asked them to make it public because these are criminals. The government refused. So a court case was filed by Lingdo and quite a few people, and amongst them one of the people who signed was Jethmalani. I refused to sign because if Jethmalani is there, I don't know when he will make a deal and buzz off. So I refused to sign to be a petitioner. But there were 8-9 people. Newspapers only highlight the name of Jethmalani. But and Jethmalani, by the way, was with Sonia Gandhi for about 3 years. He was a nominee as a Rajya Sabha member. I mean, I think he has been to more parties been a member of more parties than anybody, and his name belongs properly in the Guinness Book.